Jago lah. Udah.
Okay, seems like the stream has started. Sorry for the delay. There were a couple of technical issues. Wait, let me check whether the audio is fine. Okay, so yeah, as we can see now that the practice session has started. So yeah, today as you might have known, today is only the trial session where anything that happens today does not affect the result of the actual contest. But yeah, still there are some problems that they can solve today so that they can try their computers and see whether they have problems, and if so, then they can address it to the committee so that they can their machine can be better for tomorrow. Yeah, meanwhile, the four problems that we have today are slightly easier tasks than what the task is going to be for tomorrow. The judge intentionally choose some of the easier tasks because the duration of the contest as well. The trial session only lasts for 2 hours, and we are now 30 minutes into the trial session. And yeah, again, the main purpose of this trial session is not for them to solve the tasks, but to try the computers and see if they have problems, and the environment as well as the judge environment.
Sama aja ya. 729.
Okay, so as we can see that as we can see in the scoreboard, still experimenting with some of these stuff. So the scoreboard has some users that shouldn't be here. I apologize for that. Some of the testing accounts as admin accounts, I will remove that for tomorrow. We'll try to remove it for tomorrow. Meanwhile, we can see that some teams have solved 3 tasks. Again, this does not mean that the teams are stronger because we don't know the the strategy for the teams in this contest. Like some teams might not try to solve the problems first. They might try to get familiar with the environment first and only only solve the tasks later. So yeah, but yeah, we can see that two teams have solved three tasks, where a lot of teams have solved two tasks. Some of them still with one task, and some of them still uh, with without any task yet. Have not solved any task yet. But yeah, yeah, there's still 1.5 hours, and again, whatever happens today won't affect tomorrow's result. So yeah, maybe we can see what yeah, again we can see that the team that wins the qualification for this contest is still on one problem now. Again, does not mean anything because like we don't know what their strategy is. Maybe they're still testing their environment instead of solving the tasks. So yeah, uh, but yeah, there's not much to talk about today because like yeah, maybe the contest is not so competitive as well, so we can't really talk about the teams, the problems and so on. But yeah, I'm going to still be here to maybe talk about something that maybe worth talking about, but yeah, maybe not much. So I guess we can talk about maybe yeah, let's talk about the team. So this year there are 60 teams in this regional contest. I haven't confirmed with the committee how many of them actually attended, but 60 teams are invited based on the results of the Indonesian national contest, which is the qualification round of this regional. And yeah, and unfortunately this year there won't be any international teams because of the some yeah ICPC rules that allow only teams to participate only to one regional this year. So yeah, I guess that makes less international teams go to Jakarta. So yeah, you see all the universities here, all of them are local universities. Yeah, it's because all of the teams are local. Like we don't have international participants for this year ICPC. But still, that does not make the contest less interesting. That does not make the contest less competitive. We still have lots of strong teams in this regional, and yeah, we expect to see quite tight match tomorrow and quite an exciting match tomorrow. So yeah. Meanwhile, yeah. Yeah. I guess this trial session still there might be some things that we might take out from the result. Because like still um like some of the teams might want to try to solve the tasks first as fast as possible. Um. So yeah, we can still see some competition in those teams. And in this case, actually, like they still have to retype their solution. Whereas in the qualification round, if you see the practice session of the qualification round, you can see teams that solve like tasks in 1 minute or something. It's because like they might have coded the problem before, and because of the setting of the Indonesian national contest, teams might use their like previous code. They can submit their previous code. So yeah, especially since we use previous tasks from previous years for the practice session, they might have solved that before and they can just submit straight away. But for this practice session, because yeah, as you can see, they are now working in a lab and they cannot use any code that they have written before. So yeah, they still need to retype their solution. And if you want to win, even in this trial contest, then that means you still need to write the solution for these tasks as fast as possible. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Yeah, maybe we should see some of the teams as well. So I'm going to uh, rotate the the contest hall. So as you can see, like the contest hall actually has like five different like rooms, but these rooms are actually connected in the sense that there are windows. So even if you're in like five consecutive rooms, but even if you're at the the end of what like the first room, you can still see what's happening in the fifth room because like there's window all the way between each of the rooms. So you can even interpret it as like one long connected room, but separated by four windows. So there are five separate rooms. So, but yeah, it's still they can still see between different rooms. And yeah, we're going to try to cover various rooms here. If the if it works, there are there are a couple of network issues here that prevent us to do what we want. Um, but yeah, let's try to get some of the other rooms as well. Um, okay, looks like uh, okay. Let's try to switch to uh, another room now. Um, if it works. Okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, there are four, I guess four teams now with three AC. So you can see on the bottom left, it's the submissions that are coming to the com to the contest judges. To the Dumb Judge online judge that we are using. And in terms of the teams, there are several universities that are participating in this regional. So there are, yeah, of course, as usual, this regional is hosted by Bina Nusantara University, or commonly known as BINUS. And this year they actually have an outstanding amount of teams. They have 25 teams. Next is Universitas Indonesia with 11 teams, and next is Institut Teknologi Bandung with 7 teams. So those are the top three teams, those top three universities that have most number of teams here. And I guess I should say that's not a surprise. Like that's the common pattern that we see almost every year. So yeah, if you see Pinus or UI or whatever in the top left or ITB appears often, yeah, that's because they have lots of teams. So that's should not be a surprise. Meanwhile, I still cannot switch the camera feed. That's weird. The contest hall. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, but you can see in the stream that basically like each team has three members and they can communicate among the team members. And yeah, but you can see they have only one working computer, one workstation that they can compete with. So that's part of the challenge of the ICPC, where there are three team members, but there's only one computer. So at any point, you have to figure out who should work on the computer, while the other two maybe wait if they also have a problem to solve. So yeah, there are lots of strategy involved here, maybe more strategy involved than any other contest, especially individual contest, because you also have to handle the time management, how to coordinate with your team members, and so on. So yeah, there's obviously lots of exciting stuff in these kind of team contests and the dynamic of the teams as well. Yeah, I hope we can see other rooms here. I don't know why I can't. Let me try to turn this off first. And hopefully, oh, now we are actually on a different room. Okay, good. Um, okay, yeah. Okay, now it's moving. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, maybe we can. take a look at the scoreboard again as well, if I can get that up, of course. Okay, so yeah, we have five teams with three tasks now, and several teams with two tasks. And yeah, I believe, I'm not really sure, I haven't really checked, but I believe in this trial contest we actually sort the tasks. So A is the easiest, B is the slightly harder, C is even harder, and D is the hardest. But that won't be the case for tomorrow's contest. So if you see this scoreboard, it's very predictable. Like teams will solve A to D, because yeah, that's how we put it. But for tomorrow, we shuffle the tasks, so we don't guarantee that the easiest task is on the first problem. So yeah, that makes it interesting as well. Like teams have one of the part of the challenge is teams have to find where is the easiest task, and if they can do it first, then they have more time to solve it than the other team. But yeah, if you are behind, or you maybe you didn't realize the easiest task until after teams have solved that task, then yeah, of course you lose the time. Uh, yeah, and yeah, maybe I should also explain how the ranking works for those of you who probably not familiar with ICPC rules. So yeah, so the teams are ranked based on the number of problems that they solve, and each problem they can only solve it or not solve it. And yeah, so there's no like half point for the task that they try to submit, right? And basically for each submission, if the code solve all test cases that the judge has prepared, then that submission is marked as correct. Otherwise, even if their submission is wrong on even one of the test cases, they won't gain partial point. It will just be a wrong answer, right? And then the number of problems that they solve,
Nah, that
basically like
noise like
at least one of the submission for that task is correct, then they get one AC, basically 1 point. And if you have more points, if you have more number of tasks accepted, then your rank is better. And then we can see here that there are lots of ties, like there are lots of teams with three tasks, for example, now. Then the ties are broken based on the penalty. You can see the second column there after the sigma, there's a pen, that's basically penalty. And how the penalty compute, how the penalty calculated is based on for each task, how long does it take for you from the start of the contest until you solve the task? And that's the penalty of the problem. And you sum up the penalty of the task, that becomes your penalty. And there's one more catch is that for every wrong submissions for the task that you eventually solve, if previously you have several wrong submissions, then each of those wrong submissions, uh, 20 minutes are added for those wrong submissions. So yeah, you also need to be careful about what you submit, because every time you submit a wrong solution, if eventually you solve that problem, then your penalty will be added 20 minutes for each of the incorrect submissions that you do. Okay, now we are seeing several teams have solved three tasks now, eight to be precise, and
nah,
one
nah,
of
nah,
them
nah.
is one more team that is actually submitting that task as well, which probably get accepted as well.
Komunikasi.
So yeah, we are seeing that lots of teams are trying to solve the task here. Some of them with already three tasks.
Udah, udah.
Yeah. So
Harusnya rumah tuh.
what else can we talk about?
Iya. Iya. Kayak ngomong kayak gue udah apa? Iya. Gue harus tengok. Itu gue gak salah nonton. dalam mencari emas tadi. Lo masukannya kayak keluar rusak. Oh ya.
Okay, we can see that there are still 9 teams with no problem solved. But yeah, again, this does not mean anything. In terms of their performance tomorrow, like this does not mean that they are probably not doing good or anything. We don't know what they're trying to do, so it might be their strategy for this trial contest not to solve the tasks at this point. Okay, let's try to look at the other room now. Hopefully it works.
Tapi seasonal itu berarti kayak paling cuma sekali-sekali aja ke asisten. Kalau aku sekali-sekali lebihnya lebih.
Okay. Oh yeah. Let me know in the comment in the chat or anything if the stream is lagging or something. Yeah, because I won't know.
Sampai mana? Kayak lagi TPA.
Okay. Okay, yeah, sorry for the issues. Yeah, also, yeah, because there are. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, because this is the first time that we are doing this live streaming. for this regional contest. And yeah, the connectivity here, connectivity issues are for this kind of streaming is pretty demanding. Like it takes quite bandwidth, and of course we are focusing on the contest first. The contest also takes some bandwidth, and we want the contest to be prioritized. So yeah, for this streaming there might be less bandwidth allocated. So yeah, the stream might have several issues, and also this tooling is yeah, we're still getting used to it as well. So yeah. Um, Meanwhile, and yeah, we won't be able to have like the streaming of the contestant screen. I know that's quite a popular request that uh, some of the coaches and audience like to see, like what are the contestants currently working on, like, and maybe like the close up of the contestants, like webcam on each of those workstation. Yeah, unfortunately, we won't have that. The best we can do for now is the live stream of the contest room itself, but uh, not for the individual contestants. Okay, yeah, we can see that. Um, okay, let's hide the scoreboard for a bit so we can see the contestants better. We can see that they still working on the tasks, even though this is just practice task. They're still uh, basically like the proper contest, I should say. Like they are trying to solve the task, discussing the tasks, and yeah, we can see AC submissions coming. Uh, so yeah. Okay, for tomorrow, of course, we will have more to discuss, including the tasks, the actual task of the contest. Discussing the task for this practice session won't be that beneficial because, like, yeah, the tasks are, I should say, maybe less interesting, and they also not trying to solve the tasks as serious as they can. And if we discuss the scoreboard, it's also not accurate metrics of the performance of the teams and so on. But yeah, of course, tomorrow we'll have a very accurate scoreboard that determines the result of this contest. And yeah, we can discuss the tasks as well, the actual tasks, and we can probably invite some of the other like judges of this contest, or maybe some uh, helpers, committees here to have a chat about something, to talk about, discuss about anything that is going on this contest, or even broader ICPC in general, or maybe even some coaches as well. Of course, we won't have contestants here because they are focusing on solving the contest. But yeah, we'll try to have more people involved tomorrow. Um, yeah, today is actually for us to have a practice session on this streaming service as well, because as you can see, there are so many issues that we will definitely try to improve tomorrow. But yeah, in terms of the content, we are not going to provide much. Unfortunately, we can't really provide much as well today. But yeah, tomorrow should be more exciting. I hope, and it should be. So yeah, make sure to go back again tomorrow. But yeah, so I say like that you, just like if I was about to end the stream. No, this stream still have like 1 hour. The trial session still have 1 hour. So yeah. Okay, maybe you can take a look at some of the other rooms. Yeah, I should probably have the automated tool for switching of these rooms. Currently, it's very manual. But yeah, that means I can show you whatever room I want. Um,
Oh, skala processing sounds
Okay,
like
so
what
um,
are the main
one contestant is actually waving to the camera, and one contestant is actually posing to the camera. Yeah, in this room, it seems like the camera feed is broadcasted on the front of the room, which
betul di mana skala
yeah,
processing IP ya.
it should not be, but maybe there's still technical issues there as well. You can see that on the back of the room, the rightmost contestants on the last row of the room, that is the winner of the INC, which is the qualification of this um, contest. For local teams. But since all of the participants of this regional contest is local teams, that means all of the contestants in this contest actually participates INC, and they do well in that contest so that they can be here. But yeah, again, oh, we see that one Pinner's team have solved all the tasks. They solved problem D as well. So uh, that concludes their like that basically is their
Boleh, boleh,
last
boleh.
submission
Boleh.
for this contest. Well, they can still submit more solutions, but it won't be counted in the scoreboard. Yeah, they can still test. Yeah, one of the purpose of this trial session is to test how the grader performance, like the grader that the judge have, how it performs, like how fast can it run, and so on, right? But yeah, I was saying that again, I was mentioning if you see the back row, the farthest, basically the farthest team that you can see on this camera. Unfortunately, we can't really get the close up for that team. Is the team that win the qualification round, the Indonesian national contest. Yeah, needless to say that they are one of the favorites to win this regional contest. Um, yeah, because the set of teams are basically the same. Like they won't be new teams in this contest that did not participate in the qualification. So yeah, but yeah, as you can see, they're still with two tasks, and they try to solve problem C, but they get wrong answer. But again, they might be trying to test something and not trying to solve the actual task. So we can't really say anything about about their performance. Um, so yeah, we can probably take a look at another room as well, and I can point out if there are some favorites in that room as well. By favorites, I mean based on the result of the INC. I mean, yeah, it's we can subjectively say that the winners of the qualification rounds are the favorites because, like, yeah, the team members are the same, and there are actually like much time gap between the qualification round and this contest to like significantly change the result from the qualification. But still, anything can happen. Even though I say the winner of the qualification round are favorites, like of course anything can happen. Like in any tournaments, like even in sports, like uh, it's not rare that favorites are suddenly lost. And yeah, anything can happen. And yeah, some of people even argue like this kind of contests are sports as well, which makes it yeah, which is, uh might be true at some point. Um, okay, in this room, I believe the on the on the last row again, but the second team from the right is the second place of the Indonesian national contest. The team name was Bingung Weh. Oh, the first place of INC is Tech.py, the team that I earlier showed you. Yeah, this one is Bingung Weh, also from Universitas Indonesia. Yeah, so you can see the team. I believe that's the team. I might be wrong, but I believe that's them. Yeah, I believe so. Um, yeah. Okay, meanwhile, let's take a look at the scoreboard first, maybe before we see other rooms. Yeah, we can see, as I mentioned before, that one team from the host university have solved all the tasks, and we have several teams with three tasks. But yeah, again, this does not mean anything for tomorrow. And yeah, first, the result is not used, like it won't be used even as a tiebreaker or something like not. It's not like the result of tomorrow will be the result for today will not be counted for tomorrow, even for like anything, not even for tiebreaker or not even for like uh, a good starting place for them or something. It's not like if you do better in this contest, you have a better starting point for tomorrow. No, there's no such thing. So yeah, the result of today's contest is, yeah, I should say completely pointless, but it's not in the sense that, yeah, as I mentioned before. So yeah, I probably can say completely pointless, but it's just the experience that you gain from today's contest and lessons that you learn from today's contest in terms of like the technical things and the environment of the machine that might be useful for tomorrow. But in terms of the result itself, it's not important. Okay. Yeah. So meanwhile, we can try to look for another room again if we can switch. Again, the connection is pretty bad, I should say. It's a bit less than ideal. Okay, I hope I can get to this room that I want to. No, it's not this one. Um, is it this one? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, in the YouTube chat, one of them was Felix was saying that there is a background sound of the people talking. Yeah, that is intentional. So I intentionally added the sound from the contest hall to be in the stream. But if that's too loud, I can let me know. I can adjust the sound. Maybe, yeah, I don't know whether it's too loud or not because I cannot hear actually. I cannot hear the people in the live stream. Sorry, the people discussing in the contest hall. Meanwhile, let's see. Yeah, so so I believe the team on the sitting on the leftmost on the second row, uh, that is the third place team in the Indonesian National Contest from Bina Nusantara University. The team name is Okepeko. Yeah, second row, the first from the leftmost team. So yeah, again, we should say that they're one of the favorites to win this regional contest. But yeah, again, anything can happen. And yeah, the first and the second place team in the qualification round actually solved all 13 tasks that the judge prepared. So it's a very amazing feat. And actually, the second place team get the second place at the very last minute. Like they submitted a code for their last tasks literally in the last minute, maybe even like last 10 seconds or something, and they get it right. And that jumps from, I don't know, third or fourth position into second when they solve all the tasks. So that's really amazing. And uh, it's not as amazing that the third place team solved 12 tasks. So even though it's one less task, it still solved uh, many hard tasks and almost solved the entire task. So yeah, it's still an amazing performance for all these teams. So yeah, again, you can see that team, second row, uh, the leftmost. That's the team from Pino Nusantara University. Okay, let's take a look at the scoreboard again. Okay, Felix is saying that the sound from the contestants are too loud. Okay, I've reduced the sound, the volume for that a bit. Let me know if it's better or good, or if I reduce too much. If you want me to increase that a bit again, I can do that. So yeah, let me know. But yeah, let's take a look at the scoreboard again. Still with one team with all the tasks solved. And some, I don't know how many exactly, but like three tasks with three tasks solved. And yeah, we have eight teams. Four of them haven't submitted anything, so I don't know whether they probably they did not come. But yeah, I need to check with the committee again whether we all actually have all 60 teams competing today. But yeah, I don't know why they're not submitting. So probably they did not come because otherwise, yeah, there's no reason not to submit. Even though it's trial session, well, trial session is actually a reason why you should submit so that you know, like, first of all, how to submit. Make sure you know how to submit, right? And then you know how, like, the greater performance, like, because sometimes, like, uh in this programming contest, sometimes your solution runs, yeah, you don't know how fast your solution runs. It might be different between your computer that you're familiar with the judge's computer that we're going to run your code on. And of course, we can only decide the result of your code using our machine, not on your machine, right? Of course. Yeah, so yeah, they have to know uh, how fast is the grader machine. So yeah, they have to be familiar with that as well. So yeah, that's one of the thing that you try to get familiar on during practice session. The scoreboard is not moving. I don't know why. Sorry about that. Okay, meanwhile, let's take a look at the contestants once again and hide the scoreboard for now. Uh, Again, let me know whether the volume works better now because I reduced the volume from the contest room and see if it's better. Yeah, so I hope my voice is more prominent now. But if it's too much, then let me know as well. I can try. Yeah, because I try to have a background still. I try not to be very silent from the contest hall. I try to have a bit of background noise from the contest hall so you can see so you can feel the atmosphere somehow, right? Like you can feel the contestants discussing, even though it's not the actual atmosphere, but you can somehow feel it, right? Okay, so this is another feed from the contest room. Yeah, unfortunately the angle is not very good here. I'll try to get it fixed for tomorrow. But yeah, in this room you can actually see. I don't know whether the camera covers it because it's not positioned very well. But yeah, if you see at the last row, the second, the well, they located on the second team from the right, but it's, yeah, on this feed it's looks like they are the most right because yeah, you can't see the team seated on the right of them. But yeah, I hope you know which team I'm talking about. The last row, the most right that you can see on the camera. I believe it's the fourth team in INC. The team name is Kotlin Enjoyers. I don't know whether they're actually using Kotlin. I believe Kotlin is unfortunately not supported yet this regional. But yeah, in ICPC World Finals, I think from maybe 2 years ago or something, I can't remember exactly, that ICPC World Finals started allowing Kotlin submissions. Yeah, JetBrains is one of the main sponsor of ICPC Foundation. So yeah, we allow the language that they develop, and it's actually pretty cool language that some teams have started to use it. But yeah, I don't know whether they really enjoy Kotlin, or it's just a team name. But unfortunately, even if they do, they can't really use Kotlin for this regional. Maybe we'll extend it in future years in this regional. But yeah, we'll see, because it's not very trivial to add programming languages. Uh, yeah, so that's the team, the fourth place team in INC, Kotlin Enjoyers. Again, unfortunately, you can't really see them, but I'll try to get the camera fixed for tomorrow. At least the angle should be better than, yeah, this camera angle looks like it's like try to project the computer on the front of the room, which is not very useful. Okay, so yeah, we're going to take a bit of a break. Yeah, and I'll probably be back in a couple of minutes. But yeah, uh, again, I guess there's not much to discuss here anyway, like in this trial contest. But still, I'll be back and we'll see what happens after that. So yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned, guys.
Agora sei.
Okay, yeah. Hey everyone. So yeah, back to the ICPC 2022 Asia Jakarta Regional Contest. This is again a trial session. Um, so yeah, again I'm Jonathan here, your host for today. Um, yeah, so yeah, just confirm that with the committees that these four people that have not submitted actually did not attend today. Um, and actually, unfortunately for YPJ team from Bina Nusantara University, they actually only two of them attended today. And because of some ICPC rules, uh, this means this team cannot participate at all. And yeah, I'm not sure of the full details, but the reason of the the reason of the other one member that did not appear is not within the reason that the judges or even the RCD tolerate. So yeah, unfortunately, that means the team cannot participate at all. Yeah, and actually, this is the rules that the global ICPC enforces as well. That even if two of your team members are present, you cannot compete with just two members. Like you need to have all of your team members compete. Of course, there are exceptions if the reason of the last member cannot attend is something that is like very emergency, like COVID is one of them. Probably, I don't know. Like it's if there are probably reasons which the RCD have needs to make a judgment whether the team can still compete. But if the reason is like a generic reason, like they did not wake up or they missed, they forgot or something, it's yeah, it's some reasons that will unfortunately make the team won't be able to participate as well. And there are also rules that teams have to participate in the trial session in order to participate in the actual session. So unfortunately, these teams won't be able to participate tomorrow as well. But again, some of these teams might appeal. I don't know. Like this is something that beyond my decision, my judgment. Not, I mean, I don't even have to decide anything. But this is something that has to be decided by the regional contest director. So yeah, maybe anything can still happen if the reason is totally understandable and the RCD make an executive decision to allow these teams to participate tomorrow. We don't know, but yeah, unless there is that strong reason, we probably won't see these teams tomorrow as well. Like these four teams: Bocil Kematian from Binus, YPJ from Binus, Hai Ha Iya Iya Bingung from Binus, and Perasaan Ini Dah Benar Deh from ITS. Yeah. Yeah, they won't be able to participate for tomorrow as well. So yeah, those are the status for those teams that I just heard from the committees. It's unfortunate, but yeah, that's the rules. The rules is the rules. And yeah, I'm seeing some spam in the live chat. Please do not spam us. I will hide you. I will hide the spam. Okay. Meanwhile, yeah, what's going on in respect to the result of the trial session when during the break? Uh, what happened? Actually, there probably isn't much of a change. Or three teams now with with full score with all of the tasks solved. We'll see once the scoreboard go back go scroll back up. I don't know why it's moving slowly, but yeah. And you can see that the team that solved all the tasks from Venus, the team name is Sameja, still submit a couple of more solutions. Yeah, again, this is because they want to be familiar with the grading server, so they want to try to submit solutions that are probably borderline time limit and see whether the grader are faster or slower than what they thought, or maybe just exactly what they thought. So yeah, they want to see whether submitting this kind of solutions is runs within the time limit. If it is, maybe try to add more operations so that it probably time limit. They want to know what exactly the grader can do, like how many operations exactly can the grader do. So yeah, that's the reason why these teams are still submitting, and maybe various other reasons as well, but that's one of them. So yeah, meanwhile, there's 30 minutes left to the end of the contest. Um, and we still see tons of submissions, so that's interesting. Um, let's go to the other rooms as well. Uh, Don't know why this doesn't scroll back up. Okay, but yeah, let's see. Probably see the contest room now. Um, okay, now it's crossed back up. Okay. Um, yeah, let me see the seat map so I can probably talk about some of the teams that are worth mentioning. Uh, Not that they are uh, anything, but it's just worth mentioning because of the some circumstances. I hope that makes sense. Okay, we see the submission on the left, bottom left now. Stack.py is probably close to solving problem D as well, which would make it their fourth and the last problem for today. And again, this team is the winner of the qualification contest. So yeah, we'll see whether this team actually solve all the tasks. But yeah, meanwhile, I missed that actually. Oh yeah, they got it actually. So yeah, they solved the contest as well, the trial contest as well. But yeah, meanwhile, let's take a look at this room. Because this room, I believe, if you take a look the at the second row, the leftmost team is actually Semeja, from the Bina Nusantara University, which is actually the fifth place of the qualification round. And and they win the today's trial contest as well. So yeah, again, the trial contest result does not mean anything, but certainly they are one of the favorites, being the fifth place in the qualification round. And yeah, again, we see Stack.py actually solves problem D, which means they have solved all the tasks from today's trial session. But yeah, again, we still see submissions from them. So yeah, again, I explained before why they are still submitting, or why some of these teams might still submitting. But yeah, there are still other variations as well, since it's trial contest. If it's a proper contest, probably they won't try to submit tasks that they have solved before, unless of course they have solved all the tasks and they have nothing to do. They probably will just submit for fun. But yeah, if like they won't they won't be submitting tasks that they have solved before if they still have tasks to solve. Um, because of course they will take their time and they should have focused on tasks that they haven't solved. And I guess yeah, I probably haven't mentioned this, but I hope it's obvious that if you solve the same task twice, it won't be counted twice. It will just be counted once. Yeah, what else can we talk about? Again, there probably won't be many things to talk about during this practice session because again, it's a practice session. Uh, but yeah, if you guys have some questions, you can post it in the YouTube chat, and I'll try to answer and see if we can have things to discuss. Because otherwise, I don't know what we can discuss as well. Um, okay, let's re-enable the scoreboard again and take a look at the scoreboard. Um, yeah, so we have five teams with solving all the problems now, and we see that one Venus team is actually submitting their last task. I mean, their last, yeah, the task they haven't, that they, one task that they haven't solved yet. So if they solve that, if that submission isn't accepted, then it means they have solved all the tasks. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, there's not much going on. That submission from Venus is still pending. It shouldn't, but yeah, probably there's some technical issue with the stream. Can confirm that submission from Tufin to Mango is no, sorry, Tufin and Mango is incorrect. So no, they have not solved all the tasks yet. Yeah, the scoreboard that we see on screen might be a bit lagging. That's a bit unfortunate. I don't know exactly what happened. Yeah, this. Uh, okay. Meanwhile, can maybe take a look at the other contest room as well? Yeah, we should move rooms a bit quicker than we did. Of course, that is purely my fault. Okay. I guess it's worth mentioning that the contestants won't be sitting at where they are now for tomorrow. So the seat map will be shuffled again for reasons like because right now they are actually grouped by universities so that it's easier to discuss within universities. I mean, right now for the trial session, they are allowed to communicate even with other like team members from other teams. Yeah, and right now they are somewhat grouped by universities, but for tomorrow the seat maps are configured so that teams from the same university should not sit near each other for obvious reason. And yeah, that's why they are going to shuffle the seat map again tomorrow. So yeah, you might see that today some of the stronger teams that I pointed out, some of the favorites are sitting a bit back behind, but might not be the case for tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah. Um, yeah, for this one actually, I mentioned to you earlier the third place of the qualification round, Okepeco, which is on the second row, the leftmost team. If you see the team on the right, on their right, so second row, second from the left, that is actually Mantan.Jason from Institut Teknologi Bandung. They are the second place of today's trial, and they are actually 10th place in the Indonesian regional contest. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they are. I mean, of course, these teams are strong. But yeah, again, second in trial or any place in the trial session might not mean anything. So we'll see how these teams perform tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not sure why the submissions here on the bottom left are. Yeah, they should be more real time than this. Like every time we see a submission, you should see a status bar filling, like how far they are from being accepted. But for some reason today it's not doing very good. We'll see where we can improve for tomorrow. But yeah, it's yeah, as I mentioned, like there are still a couple of technical issues that I hope we can improve for tomorrow. Some of it are due to the network issues, but I don't know whether we can improve. But yeah, hopefully we can. And let me try to restart this thing and see whether it can actually improve. Okay. Okay, no, we're still seeing that. Okay, now the submissions load from the start of the contest. Oh, no, these submissions are not affiliated because we are entering what is called frozen duration. So yeah, I forgot that in the trial contest we set the last 30 minutes of the contest to be frozen, which means that the scoreboard you won't see updates to the scoreboard, um, but the teams will still know what the result of their submissions are. So yeah, but this means other teams will know the result of your submissions, but they know that you submitted a solution. Uh, so, and this what makes ICPC interesting because you can't know when the contest is over. You can't know what's the result, who's the winner. So some of the submissions are still uh, hidden. So yeah, I might have revealed something that I shouldn't have revealed earlier. Like I mentioned, the result of that submission from Venus. Yeah, that shouldn't happen. Yeah, I thought it was technical issues that the result won't show up, but it's just because we are freezing the scoreboard in the last 30 minutes of the contest. For tomorrow, the duration of the contest itself will be 5 hours, and the freeze duration is 30 minutes. So during the last 30 minutes of the contest, the scoreboard will be frozen.
Kalau appetizing gue makan dulu. Iya, iya. Lihat doang.
Okay, we are seeing tons of submissions from Dewanga from University of Indonesia. I'm not exactly sure what they are doing, but they sure submit tons of submissions. Yeah, it's their choice whether they want to do that or not. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if I can do that because even submitting one solution, you have to navigate through the browser and click several buttons. So, yeah, it's amazing they can do that fast. But yeah, this contest is not about how fast can you submit. So might not be too beneficial for the real contest. But they're probably testing the system, like how fast the system can respond to their submissions. So I mean, yeah, it's a practice session, and one of the practice session to get familiar with the system. So it's just fair if they want to do that to get familiar with the system. Um, yeah. Meanwhile, we should be about 12 minutes from the end of the trial session, and after that, um, yeah, after that should there should be no activity. They can just return to their accommodation or their place if their place is near. But yeah, otherwise they have to find accommodation maybe for tomorrow's contest. But yeah, basically for them there's nothing, and for the judges we will check their items. So yeah, basically in ICPC it's a tradition that you can bring 25 pages of cheat sheet, basically print out reference, and yeah, the judge will check them, basically make sure it's 25 pages. Well, 25 pages, not more than 35 pages, right? And there are a couple of conditions about the font size as well. Like can't print it too small and bring magnifier, for example, right? So the judge will do some checking with the items that you submitted. First of all, is of course the printout reference. And there are a couple of other items as well that you can bring, but you have to leave it for checking. Like, for example, like some teams would like to bring dolls or their own stationery and so on. Yeah, we have to make sure, like the judges have to make sure that the dolls are indeed dolls and not like some hidden electronic device. Of course, we know, well, we don't know yet, but there are, yeah, if you are following some other sports, there are controversies regarding of some players cheating with maybe electronic device hidden somewhere. Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's not discuss that into detail. But yeah, basically, like we want to avoid that. We want to avoid teams uh, smuggling electronic devices because these devices, especially in this contest, if they manage to smuggle some piece of source code or something that can help them solve their problems, it's not fair. So yeah, we just want to make sure that everything they bring is basically allowed. No electronic devices smuggled somewhere. No, yeah, all the reference documents supposed to be 35 pages, not more than 25 pages. Is indeed not more than 25 pages. So yeah, we have to check these things, and if they are items that are not allowed, the judges will be strict and return these items to the contestants. So yeah, the judges will ensure everything is as fair as can be. Meanwhile, there's 10 minutes left in the trial contest. Yeah, but otherwise, the trial contest is basically what the trial contest is supposed to be. Like the teams are submitting solutions, testing the code, and so on. So yeah, it's just expected, pretty much. Sorry, yeah, there's a bit of problem with the audio. Let me see whether this is better actually. Okay. Anyway, yep. Um, okay. Yeah, there shouldn't be so much surprises left, especially if because the scoreboard is frozen and um, yeah. So probably there isn't much to discuss now. But yeah, we can just wait until the end of the trial session and see whether there are things that worth discussing. Maybe you can take a look at the contestants once again and switch around the contest room. Yeah, maybe let's do it in order this time so we definitely won't miss any of the contest room. So you probably want to see if you're one of the coaches or relatives of one of the contestants, then you probably want to see your contestant. So yeah, let's do that. We'll start with the rooms are basically numbered 721 to 729, but on the odd numbers, so 721, 723, 725, 727, and 729. So yeah, if you take a look at the lower left corner, that's what basically it's saying. Like that's the room number for the contestants. Yeah, we can see that some contestants are waving. That means they probably can see which screen we are showing right now on the front of the room. Um, okay, yeah. So yeah, this is one of the room, 721. What can we see here? So some contestants are a bit relaxed now. We can see some contestants are still trying to solve the problem, or maybe trying to see what they can test. Yeah, it's obviously completely their choice what they want to do. Yeah, we can see some contestants are just yeah. We can see that they're relaxing basically. Like they're not typing something. They're not trying to do anything that can help them tomorrow, which is fair. It's still 7 minutes left. Probably there isn't much that you can do anyway. So, yeah. So it's completely up to them. Yeah. So you can see that one of the contestants are standing. Yeah. Again, it's entirely up to them. Yeah, maybe during the contest, of course, we try to control these contestants, even though it's up to them what they want to do. Of course, they can't disturb any other contestants, right? So that's still what we try to control. Meanwhile, in this room, you can probably see similar pattern. Although you can probably see more teams are still trying to work on their computer. Not so many teams are relaxing, I should say. But yeah, yeah, you can see that there's a panda dolls, right? Yeah, basically what I mentioned earlier, like they can bring doll, but at the end of the day, we have to check whether they're not smuggling anything on the doll, in some reasonable way, right? Of course, we cannot tear the doll open, but we can somehow check in a practicable way that the doll are indeed dolls, right? And yeah, there are various reasons why they want to bring doll. We see that the red doll is an Among Us doll, yeah, probably. But yeah, there are many reasons why they want to bring doll, and it's actually allowed. Yeah, it's maybe it's their lucky charm or anything, right? So yeah, there are several funny reasons why in ICPC, but yeah, it's just how it works. Like it's allowed, and some people want and it's actually help in their performance. So yeah, some of them just bring.
But again, of course, we will check that it's actually those. Right. Okay. So let's switch to another room soon.
Dia punya cara buat AI-nya.
But yeah, we can see that now. Yeah, as I mentioned, like the contestants are talking to people other than their teammate. It's actually one of the coach, I believe, on front there. Yeah, again, as I mentioned, trial session it's pretty casual. Like they can do whatever they want, and we don't really control it that much during the practice session.
Kan dia punya basic kan.
Yeah. So yeah, and then here we see another room. What we can see here. Yeah, we see many contestants and even their coach as well wearing bunny ear or something, right? Again, their choice, right? They want to do that. Yeah, but yeah, we can see that one of the team actually has just one contestant there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, the two other team members might just go to toilet for a moment. I don't know, but even if they are not here throughout the whole duration of the trial session, there might be reasons that accepted by the regional contest director for them to participate. But again, it's very rare. It's only small set of reasons where they are allowed to compete with less than 3 people. Yeah, and it's something that only to the discretion of the regional contest director, and yeah, we should not judge whether they are actually allowed or not because it's completely not our decision. Like we don't have voices for that. Yeah, so yeah, but yeah, we can see again this uh, bunny ears. Yeah, we can see that the coach taking photo. Yeah, and yeah, I guess I should say that this room has pretty relaxed themes as well. It's 3 minutes to the end of the trial session anyway, so yeah, there probably isn't much thing that they can still do. But yeah, still, some teams are still looking serious, I should say. Let's probably switch to another room.
Aneh aja ya itu kurikulum, apalagi kayak ini punya CS punya kan, CS kan OP biar konsep dong, nggak ada coding, nggak ada lab, yang CS biasa nggak ada.
So,
Iya berarti itu sih nggak, tapi mah justru malah kasih kan ini ada lab IT tadi ada, tapi CS nya nggak ada kok. Katanya ada kemungkinan semester depan semester 4 atau OP mah ini katanya tuh dia kayak 5% buat OP, tapi lab semester 4. Oh lucu juga tuh itu kayak gitu malah udah gitu OP.
yeah, this is the room that the webcam is not so placed very well. We will try to adjust at the end of today and see whether we can get. Yeah, we tried to adjust during the break, but it just go in the wrong angle again. It's just fall down. Like the weight is not supported very well, so it's just facing downward, right? But yeah, we'll try to add more support to it, so it hopefully can maintain its weight for tomorrow. Yeah, so that's and then let's see the last room that we have not seen. But yeah, we can see that basically their submissions we don't really know about what's the result of each of their submissions. So yeah, and this will be the same tomorrow. Okay, meanwhile, yeah, before we end the stream in a couple of minutes, because the practice session is going to end in a couple of minutes, let me know if there is anything that we can do better, that I can do better. So, yeah, tomorrow we can improve the stream. If you want us to discuss anything, let us know so we can prepare it, and that gives us more time to do things better, right? And yeah, here we see the last room. Yeah, here we see that the front row, the leftmost is empty. There's just, yeah, maybe that's just one of the 4 teams that did not attend that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, what we see in this room, like they're a bit relaxed as well. Yeah, so yeah, actually it's 30 seconds after the end of the contest now. I should have probably added the ticker. I forgot to do that. Oh my god, that's
lagi ngerjain lupa.
Annoying. That's
Apalagi artis gitu kan.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of the trial session. So, yeah, maybe let's take a look at the scoreboard once again. But yeah, again, some of the results are frozen. I don't know when this is going to be revealed, but yeah, this is not very useful actually. Right?
Teori lah intinya.
What more useful is what they know about their submissions and what they learn about this session. So, yeah, but that's all. Again, I will
Oh ya beda sih.
come back tomorrow for commentating the actual contest, and it will start at 10 a.m. Indonesian time, Western Indonesian time. So that's 3 a.m. UTC, right? So yeah, of course, we will have more to talk about, and the scoreboard will be more competitive. The teams are more serious than today, and we can discuss the problems as well. So yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you come back with us tomorrow, and again, let us know if there are any issues that we are not familiar with, and we can improve. And we will try to do it tomorrow. Yeah, so that should be end for today, and see you